Hello and welcome to another amazing edition of our Adobe Photoshop tutorial series brought to you by OneLearn. In the previous video, we talked about the text tool and how to use the horizontal type tool, the vertical type tool. Now in this video, we're going to be focusing on the shape tools. We're going to learn how to use the rectangle tool, the rounded rectangle tool, the ellipse tool, the polygon tool, the line tool, and the custom shape tool. I'm very certain you're going to enjoy this tutorial. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Now we're going to be moving on into using shapes in the Adobe Photoshop application. The shape tool is right here. Now, if you want to use a shape, a few things you need to know, of course. First things first is the color. You have to know that a shape has the the inner color and also the stroke color, which is the border color. And then we'll talk about border size, and then we'll talk about the height and width of the shape, specific shape. So those are the few things that we have to focus on when we are working with shapes. So let's just get started. Now the shapes tool is down here. If you click on this, you will see the different shapes that are available. The rectangle shape, the rounded rectangle shape, rectangle tool, the ellipse tool, the polygon tool, the line tool, and the custom shape tool. We're going to be talking about all 6 of these tools. Let's start with the rectangle tool. The rectangle tool is a simple rectangle tool. All I did just now was to click and drag, and I created a normal rectangle. I can actually just click once, then enter my width and my height. When I click on OK, wherever I clicked on, my rectangle or my square would appear there. So those are the 2 ways of inserting a rectangle. You can either click and drag to give you a specific size, your specific size, by clicking and dragging, or you can just click on your workspace once, enter the height and the width, click on OK, and you have your shape. Now the next thing we're going to be looking at is the color of our rectangle. There are 2 rectangles here, rectangle 1 and rectangle 2. Now we're going to be working with rectangle 2. Let's change the color. To change the color, like I said, you have the fill color. Now what we're working on right now is the fill color. Now we're going to change that now. The first color here is transparent. What this means is once we click on it, there will be no color in our shape. It means you can see through the shape. So whatever is behind the shape, we can see through the shape to see that. It means you're removing every color completely from the shape. The next one is the fill color. Obviously, this is where you can actually pick a specific color to take up the color of your shape. If you don't see the color you want to use here, you can come over here, click on this, and then select the color from the color picker window. Click on OK, and then you have it here. Your recently used colors are displayed right here at the top of the different color options that are available. And the next option after that is the gradients option, where we talked about the gradients option. Now you can actually insert a gradient into your rectangle shape. All you have to do is click on the gradient options, pick a gradient type. You can use a color and a white. You can use a color and transparent. You can use any one you want. Then as we did when we're inserting gradients, if you want to change the color, double click on this, come over here, select the color you want to use. Okay, and there we have it. We have our blue color and our transparent color. So the top is actually transparent, but the bottom is blue. You can change the type, like linear, radial, angle, reflected, and diamond. From here you can change the angle at which your gradients will be displayed. So it all depends on how you want it to be, but this is how you insert gradients into your shape. Now the next thing is pattern. You can insert a pattern into your shape as well, as a fill color. All you have to do is come over here, click on this here, then look for a pattern that you want to use, and it will be inserted as a fill color of your shape. But we're going back to the fill color, normal fill color. I'll click on this color to use as my fill color. So that will be the color of my shape. Obviously, the next one is stroke. Like I told you, the stroke color is the color that will be on the border of your shape. it will be the color that will be surrounding your shape. Now this color means there will be no stroke color. This of course means that you can actually insert a color by selecting any color available here. You can see now we have a color surrounding our shape. This one here is to insert a gradient, on our shape, right? This one here is to insert a pattern on our shape, but we're going to go back to inserting a color. I already picked the color obviously, and that's what we're going to be using. Now that we've done that, this button here is to increase or reduce the size of your border. If your border is too small, you want to increase it, this is where you do that. All you have to do is click here and drag. You can actually type if you want by clicking on this. Select whatever is there, type what you want to type and press enter, and you can use that to select the specific size of your border. Or you can just come down here, click and slide, and you can see the size of my border increasing as I slide. So this is how you increase the size of your border. Also, if you want to change the type of border you have, this is just a straight line obviously. If you want to use dotted lines, you can come over here and select and use dotted lines as your border. Now this is where you can actually increase the width and the height of your shape. Right here is the width of your shape. If you increase it, you notice the width of your shape getting bigger. If you increase this, you notice the height of your shape getting bigger. If you want to increase the width and height of your shape so that they move together, like it will be constrained. So if you want to move both the width and height together, once you click on this, it will link the width and the height together. So if you increase the width, you're definitely increasing the height. If you reduce the width, you're reducing the height. So they'll basically be working together. So that's what you need to know about the rectangle shape tool. Now every tool on this place have the same settings up there. If you see, once I use the rounded rectangle tool, it has the same settings right here. Let's move on to the next one, which is an ellipse tool. Ellipse tool is like a circular tool. You can use to draw ellipse or circles. If you want to draw a perfect circle, all you have to do is, sorry, let me remove all these shapes and delete them. Okay, if you want to draw a perfect circle, hold down your shift button, click and drag, you get a perfect circle. You can also use that to get a perfect square by holding down your shift, clicking and dragging. You'll notice you're getting a perfect square. So if you want to get a perfect circle or square, hold down your shift and use the tool that you want to use. Now each of these, they have the same options: the fill option, the stroke option. They increase the size of the stroke, you can increase the type of border you want, and then the width and the height to tell you how your circle will increase or reduce. You can actually just play with this later on, figure out how this works on your own. I've already given you an idea. Remember that if you click on this, your width and height will be constrained together, they'll be linked. So if you increase your width, your height will go along. Now just know that your width is basically your from this direction to this direction, and your height is from this direction to this direction. So I would just assume that the width is the diameter horizontally and the height is the diameter vertically. Now let's delete that. The next tool there will be the polygonal tool. The polygonal tool, remember, you have different polygons with different size. So first things first, you have to change the size. Right now we have 3 sides, and which polygon has 3 sides? The triangle, right? So that is how you can insert a triangle. If you want to add more polygons, say for example size 4, this is a square. A square has 4 sides, and we can keep moving. 6. See, this is 6 sides. That's how you add polygons with different size into your workspace. You can see that you can keep increasing into you can actually add something with 100 sides. That's the limit. It's like a circle, but it's actually a polygon with 100 sides. Okay, now the next one is line tool. The line tool is basically like the rest. So you have to do is, if you want to draw a single line, that's what you use the line tool. So sorry, hold on, it's constrained. So if you want to draw your line tool, all you have to do is click on where you want to start from and drag. If you want it to be a straight line, hold down your shift button and it to be a straight line. Now to this fill color basically is the color of your line. If you want to increase the color of your line, you can increase it from there. Now the width is basically the size, how big your line would be. So if you want to increase the width, you can see that I'm actually increasing the size of my line as well as the height. Okay, so you can actually increase the size as well, the width as well as the height using this option. And the next tool that is available is the custom shape tool. The custom shape tool is actually very amazing tool. It allows you to insert custom shapes. Now there are only a few custom shapes that are available in Photoshop. So if you click on this button, you will see the custom shapes that are available. You can see a couple of shapes here. So all you have to do is go over there and pick any one you want to use. Let's say for example this one, then click and drag and hold down your shift to make it perfect. And there we go. That is how you insert a custom shape. Now every other thing is the same as the other shapes. Inserting colors, inserting a stroke is the same thing as you do in the other shapes. So basically the shapes, they work the same way. They have the same fill option, they have the same stroke option, they have the same let's say the border line, the border width and all that. You can increase the width and height the same way. So it's actually pretty amazing how the shape tool works. So if you can understand how to use the first shape tool, which is the rectangular shape tool, you can understand how to use the rest. Creating a new shape into your workspace, create a new layer for you over here, which you can use to manipulate the shape however you want. Okay, so that's all for the shape tools: the rectangle tool, rounded rectangle tool, ellipse tool, polygon tool, line tool, and the custom shape tool. These tools are also very important when working with Photoshop, so it is actually important that you learn how to use them as well. In this video, we talked about using the rectangle tool, the rounded rectangle tool, the ellipse tool, the polygon tool, the line tool, and the custom shape tool. And these are pretty important tools which can be used to create different shapes in the Adobe Photoshop application. Now, in the next episode, we're going to talk about using the hand tool, the rotate view tool, the zoom tool, and then we'll talk about the color tools, how to select set foreground color and background color. And that will be the end of our tools panel, a tutorial on the tools panel on Photoshop. So I'm pretty sure you don't want to miss the next episode.